I'm drunk. Let's talk about Jesus. Example numero uno. 120-day streak on Duolingo Spanish, if you didn't know. Matthew 4, 1 through 11. So Jesus is taking a little stroll through the woods, right? And the devil just won't get off his ass. He is pestering him relentlessly. He's like, bro, I'm starving. You're the son of God, right? Summon us some bread, man. And Jesus just kind of brushes him off. So Satan gets pissed, right? He's livid. So he like dishonored blinks Jesus to the top of the temple. And he's like, well, if you're so strong, kill yourself. And even Jesus is like, what the fuck are you talking about? So the devil puts all his chips on the table. He teleports Jesus to the tallest mountain in the whole world and basically pulls a Lion King and is like, obey me, and all the light touches will be your kingdom. This is when Jesus finally snaps. And he's like, are you retarded? Like, for real, are you like mentally deficient? Because I feel bad talking down to a retarded person. There is no but fucking way you think I'm going to give up my seat at the right hand of God for your rinky-dink, 300,000 miles on it, 1997 Camry of a fucking planet. You are out of your mind. Get out of my sight. And then the devil literally fucking leaves in shame. Example number 2. Luke 19, chapters 28 through 40. So Jesus has been in Jerusalem for a bit, and he tells some folks that are there, hey, go get me a colt, a young horse, that has never been ridden on. And they fetch it like a Ubisoft game. So Jesus is going around on this colt, and everyone starts chanting, blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. And the Pharisees are pissed. They're like, ayo, Jesus, you got to make these guys stop. And Jesus is like, if they were not moved by my presence, the very rocks of the earth would cry out in song. Like, what the fuck? This literally means that if there was no one around to worship Jesus, the very rocks of the earth would cry out in prayer to him. That's the level of base we're talking about. Example number 3. This story will be all of Mark 5. Jesus literally steps out of a boat into a new town, and he is immediately met with a giant crowd. So Jairus, a head priest at the synagogue in this town, cuts through the crowd, and he bows before Jesus, and he's like, Jesus, please, you gotta help me. My daughter has ligma. So Jesus is on the way to this guy's house, and some lady just like runs up and like touches him, and it like fixes her period or something. I don't know. So of course Jesus like whips around and he's like, who the fuck is touching me? And she's like, Jesus, you gotta understand, I'm bleeding, man, and I knew you'd help me. So Jesus, of course, because he's so cool, he's just like, you alright, it's fine, I'm not mad. Then out of nowhere, some servant or something comes from Jairus' house, and he's like, Yo, holy shit, she's dead! So Jesus is like, take a look at this non-believer. And he takes Peter, James, and John to go look at the girl. When they get there, everyone is crying and like freaking out because they think she's dead. And Jesus is like, bro, she's not dead. And just like mercy revs her and is like, and just tells everyone that he's like, just get her some food, man, she'll be fine. Like, bro. Example number 4. This is going to do the story of John 9. So Jesus is leaving the temple, and he sees a man that was born blind. And the disciples are like, Jesus, who sinned? Him or his parents that he was going to be born blind? Who sinned in that equation that made him be born blind? So Jesus is like, there is no way you think sin causes people to be blind. There's no fucking way you just said that. And he spits in the mud. Hot too. Then the disciples watch on as Jesus takes that mud, anoints the man's eyes with it, and says, go. You're dirty as fuck. Wash it off. And he goes and he does it. He comes back and he can see. And of course, the Pharisees are pissed about this. They're pissed about everything Jesus does. So they go to the guy's parents, the blind guy's parents, and they're like, what the fuck's going on here? And obviously, in that time, you can't just be like, well, Jesus is the Son of God and did a miracle. So they couldn't answer that. They can't say that, or they'll fucking throw him out of the church. So they're like, fucking ask him. Why you asking me? So the Pharisees go to the former blind man, and they're basically like, say he's a sinner. Say he's a sinner right now. So the man is like, look, I was blind, and now I can see. What do you want me to say? So the Pharisees are like, how? How did it happen? Tell me everything about it. And the dude's like, okay, mud, wash, and I could see. That's it. And the Pharisees don't like this answer. So they cast him out of the church. So Jesus hears this guy got cast out of the church. And he goes to the Pharisees, and he's like, so what? You guys just don't believe in the Messiah? Like the Messiah that is foretold in the Old Testament? You guys just don't believe in that shit, do you? And the Pharisees play dumb. They're like, and who might that be? And Jesus is like, me, bro. So the Pharisees are like, oh, so we're blind too now, huh? And Jesus is like, dude, at least blind people can't see that I'm the Messiah. You guys are even worse off. You're just fucking retarded. Example number 5, and the final example of this video, John 20. So Jesus gets crucified, right? But then, 3 days later, he conquers death and rises again. So he goes to talk to the disciples, and everyone is excited to see him, except for Thomas. Thomas is like, holes in the hands or it didn't happen. Picks or it didn't happen. And Jesus is like, peep him and wait. Read him and wait, baby. And Thomas acts like a total bitch. He's like, holy shit! I mean, crap. Jesus, it's you! And Jesus totally sneak disses him by making an Instagram post that's like, shout out my real disciples who believe me without any proof. Those are my real followers for real. And he tagged Thomas. And he added him in the caption. I'll throw in a wholesome Jesus story at the end here for fun. Luke 15, 8 through 10. This is a cute little parable called the Parable of the Lost Coin. Now imagine, if you will, a woman with 10 coins to her name. She loses one. And then she looks everywhere for it, and she finds it. And she calls all of her friends and all of her family and all of her neighbors. And she says, rejoice with me that I found this lost coin. And Jesus says, that is the reaction of heaven to every single sinner turned to the Lord. And I think that's really special. So those are the best, or some of my favorite at the very least, base Jesus or Jesus aura moments. And then a little something sweet there at the end there. I just really like making videos about Jesus. I thought about making a video. My bad. I thought about making a video about like YouTube drama. And I started writing the script, and I got like most of the way through the script. And it just hit me, and I was like, I do not want to make videos about other people and demeaning the actions of other people on this planet. That is a waste of my time, and it doesn't help anybody. And then I wrote this video. I think talking about Jesus is 100% worth my time. And if anybody else will see this video and be like, hey, maybe I should read the Bible, or maybe I should go to church, or maybe I should get into this whole Christianity thing. That is incredible. That is the whole goal. That is everything to me. So I guess like and subscribe if you like the video. I don't know. I've never said that before, but see ya. Bye-bye.